In a vast green forest, there lived a mighty elephant named Charlie. Charlie was known throughout the forest for his enormous size, long trunk, and incredible strength. He could carry logs as if they were twigs and stomp through the jungle, shaking the ground with every step. His large ears and tusks made him the proudest creature in the jungle. He had many friends, and all the animals admired him for his power and might. One day Charlie was strolling through the forest, enjoying the warmth of the sun on his back. He was happily marching through the tall grasses when he accidentally stepped on a tiny creature. Squeak! Charlie quickly lifted his foot and saw a small mouse scurrying away in a hurry. The mouse, named Mickey, looked up at Charlie with wide eyes and said, "Please, be more careful. You almost stepped on me." Charlie looked down at the tiny mouse and laughed, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there, little one. You're so small I barely noticed." He chuckled at his own size and shrugged. Mickey, who was still shaken up from the close call, looked up at Charlie and said, "It's okay. Just be careful next time. I'm much smaller than you, but even I deserve respect." Charlie laughed again and said, "You're so small, Mickey, I don't think you have to worry about anything in this big, strong jungle. I could never be hurt." Mickey nodded, but he didn't say much more. He knew that size didn't always mean everything. Still, he went on his way, not thinking much of the elephant's comments. Days went by, and the weather turned stormy. One afternoon, a great flood arrived in the jungle. The river, which had been calm and peaceful, suddenly grew wild, its waters rising rapidly. It swept through the jungle, pulling away trees and debris in its powerful current. Charlie, the mighty elephant, was struggling to navigate through the flooding waters. His massive size made it difficult for him to swim or find solid ground. Despite his strength, he couldn't manage to keep himself above the water as the current pushed him farther from the bank. He cried out for help, his voice echoing through the jungle, but the water was too strong for him to move on his own. Meanwhile, Mickey the tiny mouse heard Charlie's cries. He had been watching the storm from a safe spot in the forest and immediately ran toward the sound of distress. Mickey didn't hesitate. He knew Charlie might be in danger. "Charlie, I'm coming," Mickey called, his voice determined despite his small size. He rushed toward the riverbank. When Mickey reached the edge of the river, he saw Charlie floundering in the water, struggling to stay afloat. Mickey looked around quickly and found a strong vine hanging from a nearby tree. He scampered up the tree and used the vine to climb across. He reached Charlie and threw the vine toward him. "Charlie, grab onto this vine," Mickey shouted. Charlie, exhausted and nearly overwhelmed by the flood, reached out with his trunk and grabbed the vine. With Mickey's help, he was able to pull himself toward the shore, slowly but steadily. Finally, Charlie managed to crawl out of the water, his massive body shivering but safe. Charlie looked down at Mickey with immense gratitude. I can't believe you saved me, Mickey," Charlie said, his voice full of astonishment. "I thought I was too big to need help, but you showed me that strength isn't just about size." Mickey smiled and said, "Sometimes it's not about being big or strong, Charlie. It's about using the tools you have and working together. Even small creatures can make a big difference." Charlie nodded, feeling deeply humbled. He had learned an important lesson that day. True strength isn't just about size or power. Sometimes it's about the heart and the willingness to help others, no matter how small you might be. From that day on, Charlie and Mickey became even closer friends. Charlie never again underestimated the power of even the smallest creatures, and he always remembered that everyone had something valuable to offer.